Coming up next.
I think when it came back around, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago when you guys started building or whatever that was, I think I told Angie, I was like, I can't believe this actually happened. It's a testament to you guys' fortitude and just ingenuity to create something that's super unique.
We're at the home of FBI Buildings. We're going to be talking with Kurt Bahler from Lafayette, Indiana. You are the president of BG Supply and the vice president of Bahler Marketing for FBI. Good night.
Yeah.
How do you fit that on a business card?
It does make your description on your email a little complicated. And like, where do you put that? How do you put it? So I should just take it down to one at some point.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're from Lafayette, but we're in just outside Remington.
Honestly, right in the middle between Chicago and Indianapolis. That's the easiest way I generally tell people. It's in the middle of nowhere. If you know Purdue University, it's about 30 minutes north of Purdue University in West Lafayette.
1 minute and 1 second, and you got Purdue University.
I was going to make sure I got that in there. So
That's
I didn't even endorse it, but I will endorse it. I am a Purdue grad.
so the elephant in the room, FBI. Where'd that name come from? Why are you still called that?
Yeah, so I actually graduated from Purdue and went into sales at FBI, and I got asked this a lot. People would be like, what does FBI stand for? Like, it's a really weird name. And I tell people the technical answer today that stands for nothing. But when it started, it did stand for, it was Farm Builders Incorporated.
Yeah.
And then as they kind of grew and the company had some success, it's a long name. And then they started, and farm buildings, that's all really post-frame was back in the day. But now it's used for suburban, it's used for commercial, it's used for industrial, equine. So then it kind of pigeonholed them into an industry that was booming into other areas. And so that's why they changed it to FBI, using the acronym of it.
Do you think it's a plus or a minus?
So I was always like, man, I wish you could change that, but you got so much history with it. So like, I get why you don't. Then when I was in sales again, talking to customers, I had one guy tell me, he was like, it's genius. And I was like, why? He's like, because you never forget it because of the FBI.
It's true.
So I was like, oh, that's fair.
Did it start out just like doing pole buildings?
Yeah, that's all they did. I mean, back then it's telephone poles, and that's where the name pole barn came from, right?
Yeah.
So the circle poles. So it's just an ag. I mean, by then it was 40 by 40s were big. So you're building 40 by 40s, 30 by 40s.
It's about the size of this room.
Yeah, really. I mean, like if you did like a 40 by 60, that was a big machine shed.
Really?
Back when they started.
Did you always know that you wanted to come back and work for the family business?
Great question. I did not. It was definitely not the most exciting career direction. So growing up, I was like, I don't know. And then the whole family business thing, there's just dynamics there that are complicated. So I was kind of the fence. When I went to college, I kind of had the idea of doing business management and then going into law school and seeing where it goes from there. I did not go into law school, spoiler alert. And I interviewed here.
Whoa. Why law? You watched a TV show, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No. My team would tell you I enjoy debating. I enjoy public speaking.
Look at them all nod.
See, I was going to call them out, but they could have answered that one. I enjoy that aspect of it. I enjoy public speaking. I enjoy being on the spot. I enjoy that. So I was like, hey, you're like 18, 17. You don't know what you want to do. Like, that sounds fun. Makes good money, right? Like, yeah, that sounds like a good route. And then I met with a lawyer, and he was like, all you do is paperwork.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be like a defense attorney. It's like, and then you're away from your family 24/7 and you like have no life. So I was like, well, I want a family. I want to be present with my family. And I don't want to do paperwork. So I was like, nah, maybe not that route. So and I did an internship at FBI as a college kid, as I mentioned, with Inside Sales. And it was a really fun experience. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So I interviewed again. I did another internship, and then another internship, and then another internship. And then they hired me in sales.
Where'd you meet your wife?
See, you asked the question here, so I'm going to bring Purdue up again. So this is not on my own here. So to make sure that's clear.
It's the only time he's smiling.
we roomed in the same apartment at Purdue. And funny story, through the church, our church has a lot of young group type activity stuff. So through a friend at church, I roomed with her brother, and then she roomed with my sister at the time.
Oh.
And we knew she and my sister
an arranged marriage
and stuff.
Yes.
Not at all, unless you say siblings involved with rain. That's got to be more parents only, I think, right?
They were in the background. You didn't even know it.
More than my mom is a meddler, I will say. She definitely had some involvement in our story for sure.
You've got four boys.
Yep.
You're homeschooling.
Yeah.
What's a decision behind that?
I went to public school. I was homeschooled for a little bit. I went to public school in 6th grade. So I think there's benefits to both. Our motivation was it does allow a strong bond between you and your children because you can have a lot of time with them. It does allow you some freedom and flexibility in schedule when they're younger. And you can be a little more hands-on, one-on-one teaching versus a classroom of a lot of kids.
Your faith plays a big part in your life.
Correct.
So is that from, when you were growing up, your family, or did that start later?
Yeah, I think it's important to say it's both as a Christian, because I think your family, when you're young, obviously creates a big direction how you see your faith. And so faith has been a big part of that. But then everybody who I think faith is an important part, you graduate, you leave the house, go to college, you kind of start your own journey. And I think you kind of have to go through a whole other phase of like, is my faith my own, or is it because my family taught me this and I grew up hearing it, I grew up knowing it? Like, do I believe this? Do I actually want to live my life with these guidelines and these truths and this belief system? So for me, it was kind of a double approach where I believed as a kid, and then I kind of went through a process of like, yeah, I think I really do believe this for myself.
We were talking about your employees and the ones that we have met that seems like they keep transitioning up or in different, where they're utilized better. Yeah. What's the name of the truck driver that delivered the deer blind? I can't remember. Heath. Heath. Heath?
I not super well, but I know him. Yeah,
he's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, he was delivering a deer blind, which he'd never done before.
That would be unique.
Put together one that he'd never done before, and he's just like this. And I stopped. I said, "What? How do you know all this stuff? How do you do?" Oh, well, I used to put up buildings for 20 years, and then as I'm getting older, I talked to FBI and I wanted to move, and now I'm just driving a truck, and he was happy as pie.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good testament for a company to look at a valued employee. Now you just don't have a truck driver. You got a truck driver that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't plan for us to all of a sudden be delivering deer blinds. That was never in the 30-year plan. I can tell you that much. So to that point, you don't know like where that value will show up in some amazing areas. So there's a lot of truth to that. And it takes time, I think, to mature as a company to get to that point, as I kind of mentioned that earlier, where it takes 20, 15, 30 years. And we have a wall in our office of a 30-year wall, and there's, goodness, like 60, 50 people on that wall. Like it's a lot of years when you add that up of industry knowledge and experience. So over the 70 years of FBI's existence. So there's just a lot of power to that. And also we do pride ourselves on being an entrepreneurial growth company amongst all of our companies, but definitely an FBI. And that can be painful at times. Growth is hard. Growth puts strain on the system. Growth makes your jobs can be more painful and harder, and you're asked to do more things, and that can be difficult. But at the same time, if you're able to have success in that growth, it allows people to move up and to be promoted and to be stepping into different leadership roles or different opportunities. That's a really exciting thing that comes with it. And the beauty of FBI through the growth trajectory it's been on the past 7 years, it has allowed for a lot of people to step into roles that just didn't exist 20, 15, 10 years ago.
When did you hear about deer blind?
I think I was at a coffee shop in Lafayette when we had our first call with you, which
West
is probably
Lafayette?
No, that was Lafayette. That was Lafayette, downtown Lafayette. And I think we had our first call, and it's probably a year and a half ago, I feel like, at least, when Angie told me about this. And I'll be honest, we get a lot of
stupid ideas.
A lot of people reach out. This came up, and I was like, dude, what are we? I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, I don't know, maybe we should. So like, hey, fine, honestly, the deer blind, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. But you guys had social media presence, you had like a TV show. So that's why I was like,
we lied about all that.
I was like, hey, maybe we can get some pub out of this. So I was like, maybe it's worth a relationship connection. So that's honestly why I did it. I had no intention of actually doing the deer blind.
I love the honesty.
I think when it came back around, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago when you guys started building or whatever that was, I think I told Angie, I was like, I can't believe this actually happened. It's a testament to you guys' fortitude and just ingenuity to create something that's super unique. And then obviously our team to kind of come alongside and
say it's
bring it to
not.
reality.
I had an idea. And then I'm like, all right, these guys know how to build buildings. All right, they'll figure it out. I had zero clue how difficult it was to design a deer blind.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just, I don't know. You build
It's
something
like
and build something on top of it.
It's
You're
like
done.
an 8x8 or something like that, isn't it? That's not big.
I know, you got all the trucking. You got to have it so. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, there's a lot of details.
Well done.
I will take no credit from this. As you can tell, I was somewhat skeptical.
All right. Last thing, Kurt. What do you want people to know about FBI buildings?
Yeah, I think some of the main things are we are a company that has a long history that we really value of investing in people, caring about our employees, wanting to be someone who adds value to the industry, to be just look at things in different ways and not just do the same thing over and over again. Keylif is an example of that, as a lot of other things that FBI has introduced in the marketplace. And kind of a quote that we say in Bahler Group is the Thomas Edison quote that says, "There's a better way, find it." And I think that really is a mantra that fits our group as a whole. If you're in a tough spot, there's always a better way to do it, and don't just be okay with where you currently are, and that's just how it has to be done. Mm-hmm. Always look out for what can be improved.
Well, we put up the FBI building. I'm thrilled, but of course it's new, right? There's not going to be anything wrong with it. Yeah. But
if it's not, then it's really bad. That's bad.
I was very impressed about how it was all put together, and it was very, very professional. So I'd recommend it to anybody. So Kurt Bahler from West Lafayette, Indiana. Kurt, I want to thank you. I know you're a busy guy. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thanks for spending some time with us here on Shark Farmer TV. For more stories about people in agriculture, catch my shows on Rural Radio Channel 147 Sirius XM. There's more in-depth discussions on my podcast, and of course, you can check out previous episodes of this show on my YouTube channel. Find out more at sharkfarmer.com.